We are jumping in the pool and stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a brand new episode of On It. We're here. You got me. You got Devin. We are back. And you know, sports podcast, is it? Maybe by the end of the episode, we will figure out if it is. But Devin, last time we talked about, some teams and their playoff chances next year. We talked about some honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember. Because since then to now, we're
Yes.
still in the hospital dealing with a newborn. Have no clue
Yeah.
what we talked about last episode, but I know what I want to talk about this episode. We got some people crying about stuff. We got some people doing some scandalous things. We got some GMs saying some things that make me think about some things. But Devin, we just got to get right into it.
Who's doing scandals?
Maybe a former wide receiver, but we'll talk about that later.
Ooh, nice.
We'll talk about that later because I don't know what's true and what's not in that.
Yeah.
And just in terms of just what's even real that's being posted online,
Sure.
Proof wise.
I was gonna say something bad, but I'm not.
We'll talk about that later. But Devin, one conversation that we're gonna have that I think we've probably had one or two off seasons so far. We've had this conversation, but there's teams already. It's been a month since. Almost a month since the season's been over.
Yeah.
And teams are saying they want a Tush Push ban.
That's cool. I mean, I don't know.
Come on. Don't. First of all, no, it's not cool. There's absolutely no reason for a Tush Push ban.
It's cool that they're going for a ban, but I don't know. It doesn't make any fucking sense.
But even if it's being the fact that it's even being suggested, I truly do not understand why teams aren't doing one of these two things. And I don't want to be like a couch quarterback or whatever, couch coach, whatever they call it. I'm just
backseat driver,
whatever you want to call it. But
yeah,
would it not be in teams' best interest to use it,
develop it?
Here's the thing. There's not much that the Eagles have that helps them have a more successful outcome with their Tush Push.
Yeah.
Compared to maybe a team like Baltimore,
they have the same big fat white dudes that get down there and push.
It's like I get it. They got they're linemen, they're big, they're this. It's Jalen Hurts. But here's the thing: you could easily Buffalo Bills, Josh Allen, center, guard, running back, two more receivers.
They've been doing that recently.
But yeah, I mean,
now Josh got half his fucking rushing touchdowns.
Every single team could do this.
Every single team needs that. Package.
And I know this is I don't want to compare it to super rare things or just obscure things, but think about Brady just getting snapped in half, just diving for QB sneak
when he goes to jump over the top.
And now or if you want to go another way, someone like Cam Newton who would just say fuck it and just throw himself over the goal line every single time.
I forgot how big that play used to be, the reach.
Imagine if
jump
Cam
and reach.
Newton.
That's shit. Imagine Tyler Huntley. Imagine y'all had a Tush Push package. Y'all would have won that fucking playoff game.
We would have won that playoff game. But imagine if Cam Newton would have his whole career 4th and 1, 4th and 2, Tush Push, or 3rd and 1, Tush Push, 3rd and goal, 4th and goal,
or not have to put his body on the line to get in the end zone, because if he knows if he goes down to the 1, they got a for sure touchdown.
Or just get up and do it again. I mean, it's not it's real. I hate to sit here and just say it's not rocket science. It's not. And I'm wondering why teams are not just accepting that. Okay, so the Eagles found a really cool way to they found a really cool QB sneak package.
Yeah,
essentially, is what they did.
But I mean, it's kind of where is the line drawn?
So
it's once you ban this play, now what are we gonna ban fucking motions and shit?
You bring up a
But
really
the
good
Chiefs,
point.
like what? When fucking United started fucking throwing the ball forward, they're like,
Uh,
you gotta run that motherfucker, and then it's just rugby.
so there was what's the show? I can't think of. There's a show on ESPN. It's really weird. I didn't realize that they have like a point system. There's a host who gives them like points
Oh, around
per
the
like
horn.
around the horn. Thank you.
Yes, isn't that over
Um,
with?
no, I was on. I've been up
I
really
think they're
late.
getting rid of it. I used to watch that all the time growing up.
I was watching it last night or like 3 a.m. watching it,
Yeah.
and they were talking about this, and apparently, I don't know what, 10 or so years ago, they had changed a rule to where before you linemen couldn't push their running backs forward and help
Yes.
them, help
Yes.
them go forward. When that rule was taken back, they were like, okay, so what are we gonna do? Are we gonna ban that again?
Exactly. Now,
Because
is there a no drag rule?
no, you can drag.
You can drag.
You can
Okay, I
drag
thought it
and
was
push.
just push.
You
Okay,
can no, you can
gotcha.
drag and push. You can
Okay.
drag, you can push, you can do everything. But it
Yeah.
was 10 or so years ago where you couldn't push. I don't know about dragging. It may have been not dragging either. I didn't really
I
do
don't
my
know.
research on that. But then I forgot who else. I really wish I could remember the analyst names on there. But somebody else said, you know, what about the other plays that are just as successful? Derrick Henry on 3rd and 1.
For real.
Right, like so. What do we do with that? What
Yeah.
about when we hand it off to Saquon 3rd and 1? Are we not allowed to do
Yeah.
that anymore?
Yeah.
Because these are things that are just as successful,
Yeah.
and players aren't or teams aren't crying about it, saying you can only hand it off to Derrick Henry 20 times a game. I
Yeah.
just
No.
and then on the other side, because there's A and there's B. Why are defenses not just scheming? Scheme,
Well,
scheme.
well, that's the other thing. It's like when the Eagles do it. I mean, if it teams, I feel like a few teams have like replicated it, but not fully put that in their system as like a play. But
That's what I'm saying.
it's fairly hard to stop.
But it could be put in any single system and be used as much as you want in that specific scenario. But I'm saying on the defensive side of the ball, okay, so you see Jalen Hurts stacked up with 3 people behind him.
Mm.
I mean, I know it. Like I said, it sounds it's easier said than done. But stack up.
Yeah.
The difference between defense and offense is you can put whoever wherever on the defensive side of the ball.
Mm.
I mean, I'm saying you load that inside up as much as you want
Yeah.
and push your defenders over. I mean,
They
if you
could
go
do
back and watch, and then you know what that does, Devin? That makes the offense try to counter that. You know what
that.
we're gonna
Exactly.
do? We're gonna fake that, and
We're gonna
we're gonna
run it
pitch
out. We're gonna
left and
pitch it
have,
out. Yeah.
and then we're making a QB sneak even more entertaining, more interesting.
Well,
Uh,
that's what I've realized about the tush push is like when you watch the play, the linemen get out like 3 or 4 yards in front,
mm.
and it's just because they're so low. They get out and they basically crawl or like just low push forward, and then that clears a lane. But the defense has to find it's going to turn into like a rugby scrum at some point.
which is
Defense has to
fine.
find a way to like lock up,
Wh-
link
wh-
up, and like push the other way.
I'm
But
completely for that. But
but
another thing,
the only argument that I can see for banning the tush push is just it's the quality of football. It's
but
like
okay,
this could turn into a lot of plays being just a fucking push maneuver, stupid ass, get a few yards type of play.
yeah, on 3rd and 1 or
I know,
fourth
but it
and
could
one.
be a team trying this a lot of times a game.
No. On 4th and 1 and 3rd and 1.
Yeah,
What's wrong with that? What is wrong with using the most efficient play on 4th and 1? I would want my team. If I were you, I would want Jaden Daniels and the Washington Commanders on 4th and 1 to be able to just, all right, 6 of us are going to just try our best to make sure Jaden Daniels goes 1 yard forward.
yeah.
We're not doing this
But
fancy motion
all these
shit and
quarterbacks
risky.
aren't built like. I'm not sure
You
if
don't
there's
have to
any
be built
impact
like
on.
nothing,
But I don't know if there's any impact on Hurts from this
bro.
because Hurts is a big dude.
Do you really? Okay, I
Jaden's
guess.
a little shrimp,
I guess
little
if we're gonna
skinny
sit
boy.
here,
No, I'm just trying to figure out how this could not work for other teams. But to me, it just seems like
why would it not
teams are
work?
just waiting for it to get banned.
But why
So
would it
they're
not
not
work?
implementing it.
Why would it not work? It doesn't matter what your quarterback is built like. We're talking the biggest problem they have is the formation essentially. You're still gonna have quarterback sneaks. You're
Yeah,
just not gonna have this what pushing or the three people behind you or whatever they want to change. But
but the
any
formation
single
isn't illegal at this point.
that's what they're trying to make that you would have. What are you making illegal? So
The
you can
formation
run,
of the play itself,
you
yeah.
can make that formation legal, but not not run a QB
No,
sneak out of
well,
it.
yeah,
It's like I don't.
you can be in that formation but not run a push.
There's absolutely no reason to ban it. It like I said, I truly think it could make it even more interesting if defenses try even harder. And if you go and watch, if you go just watch any report like I was watching last night, where if they're just discussing the tush push and they're showing highlights of tush push plays, working,
Hmm.
half the defense tries. Only half of them
True.
try. I guarantee you, at least whoever's on that outside, they're just snap standing there. It's like why
No,
even
you're
waste
right.
the
Yeah,
time?
yeah.
Like why
Because it's
not
it's literally everyone on that offensive side. It's 11 dudes on
mhm,
offense pushing
all pushing? So
against
you need
six
11
linemen.
pushing.
Yeah,
So it's just I don't know. It sounds like it's so simple when we say it that it's hard to try to figure out why other teams aren't just using it and or trying to figure out how to scheme against it. It's just I'm kind of dumbfounded that GMs are just like, you know what, let's just ban it. Let's just let's not let our coaches do their job, like which is like coaching and
yeah.
like scheming up a way to either use that for our team or be able to stop it. Let's just ban it completely.
I bet they're
I
gonna call it. Well, they were trying to do that last year, and they were calling it a dangerous play, which it
well,
is not.
it's not, but it would also be complete like obvious favoritism towards 31 teams.
Exactly.
I mean, this would be. I mean, this would be worse than anything that. I mean, I can't even. I wouldn't know what to compare it to. Like
I mean,
it
I'm
just
trying
would
to think
not be
of like
fair.
a dominant play that could have been banned or whatever.
Like they're taking
Well, they
their
banned the what the kickoff formation or whatever, or is that banned or no? Just no one does it. I don't know,
what.
the one from the movies where they get in a V. Just start then yeah, when you link arms, you get in the V and you just fucking deck people.
Yeah,
You just clothesline everybody.
I don't think
Now
that's
that's a dangerous play.
either
A
way.
tush push for 2 yards is not dangerous.
The tush push, it's just it's not. It wouldn't be fair to take that away from the Eagles.
But
It's
yeah,
like
no, I mean if it works that well, number one, try to stop it from working that well, and number two, put it in your fucking game plan.
but Devin, this is the National Football League asking for a QB sneak to be banned.
Yeah, sad.
What are we doing?
That sucks.
There's absolutely no reason for this tush push to be banned. But all right,
Why don't we
last
stop
episode
rigging games?
we could stop. No, no, well, no, and that's another thing. You take away a tush push for the Eagles, then I mean, I don't know. You probably piss a lot of bettors
But
off in
here's
the
the thing. I
future.
mean, the Eagles did not need the tush push to
No,
win the Super Bowl.
mm.
They had Saquon, and Saquon was scary enough to open up their offense. They didn't need the tush push. I mean, the
Yeah,
Super
but
Bowl and the NFC Championship game, they won by fucking 30 points.
in hindsight, obviously they don't need the tush push, but it's the same way with like Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. Like, yeah, no, we don't need to do this. We could just hand it off to our running back,
Yeah,
and it probably will be just as successful as this tush push.
yeah,
But the tush push works, so we're gonna
yeah.
keep doing it. I see no problem with it.
I'm surprised they didn't
Um,
ban the triple Heisman.
Triple Eisen was the dumbest thing ever.
I'm surprised they didn't ban that. It was such a good fucking play. Why don't you get it to the fastest guy in the league, RG3, at fucking 34 years old?
RG
He's probably
three
34 right now, honestly.
See, but that's the problem. It was like one like young Heisman winner,
Yeah,
and then two like really old Heisman
for real.
winners, Mark Ingram and
RG3.
RG3. Which still, I mean, no, I fucked with Mark. I fucked with Mark
Mark
during
was
his
no
time
Mark.
in
I
Baltimore, but
think Mark, like, I don't know. He did not want to leave. He loved playing with y'all. Did he
It
leave on his own
was
terms and go to New Orleans?
going
Did he get
back.
traded? Huh?
He went back to New Orleans. Is that what happened?
Yeah, I think so.
I can't lie to you.
I can't
Um,
remember.
how
I don't know,
how
but it
how
was
did
big trust Al Freaky for
yeah
the
how
whole
did
year.
it go? How did it go? Oh well, yeah, no, it was yeah. Your times, it was you're cool, but then we got J.K. and Gus. It was
For
like we're
yeah.
not we they
We're not
moved
paying
on.
you, but it was like I think it was a mutual parting of ways.
Yeah, well, I mean,
It was like you're old.
I, the
This is over.
Ravens. I mean, I don't know. That's how the Ravens kind of are. It's like if you know, I don't know. The Ravens have brought on a lot of vets. I'll
Yes,
just say that the Ravens have brought on a lot of vets, and sometimes they make it work, sometimes they don't.
like
Um,
Deshaun Jackson,
Deshaun Jackson, Des Bryant,
Odussi,
Deontay Johnson, Deion
Josh Johnson,
Sanders. Deion Sanders retired.
Dion.
Retired. His last year was a Baltimore Raven. Um, so
Maybe
we
you
have
guys should
some,
draft Shador.
no, probably not. We probably shouldn't draft Shador. All right. Last episode, Devin, we said, or we gave the top 5 non-playoff teams with the best chance to make the playoffs next season.
Yes,
And you said the obvious. We need to do the top 5 playoff teams with the worst chances to make the playoffs next year, which is exactly what we're going to do. And I'm kind of just going to give you a few teams just to start off the way we did last time. So a couple playoff teams that, all right, off the bat, what just comes to mind? What teams come to mind?
Vikings.
Okay. So Vikings,
I think the
and
Packers will be fine.
let me ask you, Vikings, and is it safe to say Sam or not?
Yeah.
Like, even if they actually die, like they make a decision to keep Sam Darnold, they're not repeating this magic.
No, this was a real anomaly. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
but
this
this
is a
NFC
one and done,
North
one
thing
and done.
isn't going to happen again. There's no NFC North domination down the road. Um,
And you said Green Bay. You said Green Bay, no.
I'm not sure on Green Bay. I mean, I think that they'll be fine. I think that they can make a or get a playoff spot next year. Um,
I think considering what they dealt with this year, I mean,
yeah,
especially
no,
with Jordan Love and
agreed.
everything. I mean,
Also having to play Minnesota and Detroit all year.
I'll keep Green Bay in mind, but I think it's going to be hard to not find 5 teams that have a worse chance than them.
Yeah, but that was just the
But
NFC side. I'm trying to think. AFC.
Minnesota definitely I can agree with. I don't know exactly where I'm going to put them at on that list, but how about Denver?
Oh, Denver. Yeah, I was just about to say
So
Denver.
that's 3 AFC West teams in the playoffs this year. I
I
don't
mean,
know how
Denver's a
many.
team that can get better, but I also expect their division to be harder. Um, if they don't make any moves, I don't expect
Well,
them to get any better than they were.
their division can either get or stay harder. Or it can get harder or stay as hard because you're gonna have to deal with the Chiefs next year. You're gonna have to deal with the
Yeah,
Chargers. It doesn't really matter what happens with the Raiders if they want to
no,
get better or not, or it,
yeah,
it does not matter if they want to
no,
draft Shador and just fucking win 6 games. They can do that.
yeah.
But I think 3 AFC West teams representing 3 teams representing the AFC West in the playoffs. I don't know if that's happening again. At
It's
least back
possible.
to back. I mean, there's just off the rip.
Are the Chargers in
Hey,
the playoffs?
yeah, Chargers in the playoffs like got smacked by Houston.
You're right. I
Um,
completely forgot about that.
I'm gonna. Actually just a sneak peek into later in this episode. We're actually gonna give a final grade for every team. So I'm kind of gonna refresh your
Yeah,
memory on every single team. So I
but
will
yeah, I
help you
mean,
out on teams like that.
I expect the Chargers to get much better. I mean, I thought, I think we thought that this was like a throwaway year for them. Harbaugh's first year, don't really have any fucking receivers, which we saw.
Hmm.
Um,
All year it was. I think this team needs an offseason, and they jumped the gun and made the playoffs this year.
exactly. So yeah,
Um, I think the other LA team could be a contender for this list,
yes.
considering I don't. Well,
What's gonna
and
happen?
I mean, and Cup is definitely out, right? Like, there's no way
Well,
after all this.
they said that before the Stafford shit. So Stafford's gone, and if Stafford's gone, Cup's definitely gone, and I think it's vice versa.
Really, you think if Cup goes, Stafford's for sure out?
Yeah,
I think if Cup goes first, there's a chance Stafford stays. If Stafford goes first, there's absolutely no chance Cup stays.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
But I
Cup
don't
was the
think it's a.
first one on the trading block.
I don't think it's a matter of staying. I I think the I think Cooper wants to leave more than Matt, and I think the Rams want to get rid of Cooper more than they want to let go of Stafford or part ways
Really?
with Stafford. I do.
Well, yeah.
I mean,
No, no, that's fair. For sure.
right away, it was like Rams are shopping Cooper
Yeah, it
Cup.
was immediate.
It's
They're
they've
shopping.
kind of been back and forth about Stafford.
They like I've seen a lot where like I thought the report was similar to Cooper's, where it was like, no, we're trading Cooper. I thought it was like, yo, we're trading Stafford, but they're just looking at options apparently.
So are we? So I'll say we'll consider the Rams and we'll consider Denver, Minnesota, the Rams. How about Tampa? Because
Tampa's
to
definitely
me,
being considered.
probably next year, the only NFC South team is going to be who wins that division. Um,
Yeah,
I mean, okay, think about it. Think about it. Saints came out and said they're locked in with Derek Carr, so that just threw all of our Saints hopes out the window.
when did
They
they
said
say that?
like today or yesterday. I'd pull up the report, but there's not even a
Well,
point in
Kellen
pulling it
Moore
up.
must have a guaranteed fucking next year already because
Oh, guaranteed
they're
next
winning 4
year,
games.
or they're like, yeah, or it's like let's see what you can do with him. It's like if you can win like 7 or 8 with him,
Sure,
and it's like who even knows if Derek Carr's going to stay healthy? Who knows what they're going to do? They
but
might bring
then who the fuck's their backup?
Jameis. They might bring Jameis back to play backup.
James is
To be
hilarious though.
honest,
The whole fucking him as a reporter was just like, "Where do you think I'm going in free agency?" It was for like a whole
that
2 days.
was
He just asked that about 100 times.
and even Philly was like, bro, come play for us.
Yeah,
Come
Saquon
here.
was like, "Get
But
over here."
and then Atlanta, we have no clue what's going on with them.
Yeah.
And if they are good enough to win the NFC South, I'm gonna assume the Bucks fell off.
Well,
I don't think they're. I don't know. I think if the Bucks come back healthy next year, you got to think, bro. Godwin was out the whole year. Mike was hurt half the season. They're gonna come back healthier
yeah,
and better, especially when they let what's his name just let Bucky cook.
yeah.
Because God, who was it? Who was it that came in? Who was it? Who's the other Bucks running back that was pissing me off?
White.
Um, no, but he was coming in and I believe he fumbled against y'all in the playoffs.
Oh, you're right.
I wish I could. His name as soon as
Was
I
it not
say his
Rashad
name
White?
is that. Oh, I'm not gonna lie. I'm racist. I thought you were asking me if it was a white guy. But Rashad White, you're absolutely right. I'm sorry. God damn it. Fuck. God damn it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was right though. It wasn't a white guy, but yeah, no, it was
It's not
Rashad
a
White.
white guy.
But yeah,
Yeah, no,
Rashad White.
I didn't say was it a
Once
white.
they get bro out of there, let Bucky cook instead.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think the Bucks can repeat or three-peat as NFC South. Four-peat? How many times they won the NFC South in a row? It doesn't matter. We're not
All
even.
3 times years and yeah, the past 2.
I'm not gonna put too
It's
much
5.
brain power into it.
But
But
I mean, do we expect this to be a 9, maybe 10 win division again?
I think Bucks ceiling is bet the best the Bucks could do. Like a great Bucks year is 10 or 11.
Yeah.
But I think if they had,
Which leaves the Saints and the Falcons still in that race. I mean, it was fucking close this year.
yeah. But
Um,
okay. So Tampa we'll keep up there. What about Washington?
yeah. I mean, it's possible that we miss the playoffs.
I
Um,
think what's up?
I don't want to talk about the things that would make us miss the playoffs because they're gonna jinx us. But
What would make you miss
um,
the playoffs?
huh?
What would make y'all miss the playoffs?
Injury.
Injuries.
Um,
Um,
well, I mean, just sophomore slump.
Sophomore slump.
Like
Are
earlier
you
in the year, you were like, Jaden's not having a sophomore slump, and you never know. I mean,
would
he
you
seems
buy
to be
in
well fit to be a quarterback, but
would you buy into like a chance where maybe half of those close games don't go y'all way?
yeah,
It's a
No,
completely different season, and I'm not.
totally agree.
I feel like I know I don't have to walk on eggshells, but I just don't want to seem like I'm hating on your team.
No,
But I'm
no.
just saying, like there were a couple, like
If
y'all
anyone's gonna hate on my team, it's gonna be me.
almost
You
lost
rule
to
them out.
Chicago,
Yeah.
or I can't really think of those other games. Y'all had a lot of
No, no.
close
Yeah.
games. Now,
Well, I mean, which was it was a good thing and a bad thing. It was like, oh, Jaden's so great in fucking the fourth quarter, but it's like, why are we in this situation?
and
Um,
you're gonna expect this every time. If the ball's in Jaden Daniels' hands,
yeah, I mean,
at
like
the end
that
of the
game
game,
against the Bengals, that crazy
yeah,
throw to Terry. It's like the Bengals aren't going to be that bad next year. We can't
yeah.
let up 38 points and still win a football game, or 35
Hmm.
points and still win a football game. So I think the biggest thing for us is the defense needing to be better and to run an offense that's less, I guess, unpredictable. We need a better run game, um, another receiver, and we need a fucking. I mean, we're gonna need guys on the line, but we need guys in the secondary because they stink.
What about Houston?
Houston's up there, dude. We don't
Because
know where they're gonna stand with these receivers. Tank Dell's not coming back. Right now, it's just Nico.
and I mean, CJ is gonna have to backpack.
Backpack.
He's going to have to carry this squad.
Yeah.
Now it's now they're in the AFC South,
Mm-hmm.
so what do they got to worry about? Colts.
But
Not
we
really.
don't. I mean, there's teams in the South that could get
Jags.
better.
I'm not, bro. Jags and Titans. I guess they could get better, but if they're getting better, the Texans are still better.
Yeah.
Like in my eyes, even if they get better, the Texans can just still be the Texans of last year and be better or be good enough to beat them.
Agreed.
But I don't know if we're talking top five worst chances. I don't know if I'm putting Houston on this.
I don't think so. I mean, if anything, I think that Houston isn't just going to be a team that gets in because they won their division. I think that they can have a great year and win 12-ish games or so.
They can.
But
I mean,
I mean,
especially
that's depending
considering
on if they keep Diggs or get Cooper or draft a receiver or get a receiver or figure something out over there.
there's some moves they can make. There's some moves they can
There's a
make. I
few.
mean, they made a lot of moves
Shit,
last
T.
year.
Higgins
The Diggs move last offseason in was a good move. It's just he got hurt.
just didn't work out yet.
Also forgot about Washington. I think a big thing for y'all, just like last year, is offseason, what y'all do this offseason.
I know.
Because we looked at some moves y'all made last year and we were kind of like, and it kind of panned out to be,
Well,
to work
kind
for
of, but
work
we
for
also
y'all.
didn't really do anything. We got, I mean, Bobby Wagner was good. Frankie Louvu was honestly the biggest move that we
Yeah,
made.
Austin Eckler.
Eckler, but
It was better than I expect. Like to me, I'm like, oh, you bring in this injury riddled old dude. It's like, oh,
yeah,
actually, he was worth it. You bring in Bobby Wagner. It's like, okay, well, for the lack of any, when you look at like the defense a couple years ago to now, it's like,
yeah.
who who in that locker room is gonna lead
No,
that
yeah, we had a
defense?
defensive leader,
So
so
someone like Bobby
that was big.
Wagner,
Yeah,
nice to have.
yeah.
What about
But
Pittsburgh?
no, well, God, I hate Pittsburgh, dude. Fuck, because
Because
I
they
was
just
about
came
to be
out.
like, yeah, they're cooked, but it's
They
Pittsburgh.
finally vouched for us.
Did they?
They said
That probably means they're getting rid of him.
well, I think they're probably gonna be
They
rolling
just
with
need more
Russ
time.
next year. I don't know, bro. I think they're rolling with Russ.
Where did they say A-Rod was going? The Rams.
I have no clue.
People have been talking the Rams.
I'm not. We talked about that a couple episodes ago. I'm not getting rid of Stafford for Aaron Rodgers. Or did I
Agreed.
say?
Yeah.
No, I'm not. I'm not.
Like that.
I
I'm not getting rid of that team chemistry to throw Aaron Rodgers with Sean McVay.
There's no
And Sean
point.
McVay, who comes from the same pool of guys that Matt LaFleur came from, that did not work out for Aaron Rodgers. So I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm not doing it. But I think Pittsburgh is probably safe to not be on this list. So it looks like we have our five. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is what order? Um, Denver, Tampa, Minnesota, Washington, LA Rams. I believe we're gonna say
Well,
Green
some of them
Bay
are like
and the Chargers are safe as well. Sorry.
Chargers are safe. But like the Rams, it's based on like what happens. If the Rams don't get rid of anybody and maybe they maybe they just don't trade their guys and they make some moves for that team, which is what blows me is like all they had to do was just make some moves. They were still a
So
playoff team.
so they keep Stafford. Do they have a better chance than a healthy Tampa?
Uh, if they make a move, yeah.
So then I'll put the Rams at 5.
Rams at 5.
Now, I think honestly Denver at 1.
No.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I think it's
Well,
Denver
Denver
at
1,
1,
Minnesota 2.
Minnesota 2. So you think Tampa and y'all have a better chance? You think Tampa and Washington have a better chance next year than Minnesota to make the playoffs?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Really?
We have to make the playoffs?
To make the playoffs.
Yes. Tampa's in a division where that you like regardless of what happens next year, you can still win that division with 10 wins unless the Falcons break out or something.
And
And then with
Washington,
us, we have a franchise quarterback that the Vikings do not have. They have the best receiver in the league. That's about it. I mean, their defense is good, but I mean, when you talk about a team that's won a lot of close games, they're up there too.
so then who's 3 and 4? Who's 3, who's 4? It's Tampa and y'all.
I think because our division's harder. Like I don't know how good the Cowboys are going to be. The Eagles are still going to be very good.
Cowboys are gonna be tricky. They're gonna be a speed bump.
For it,
They're gonna be in y'all's way.
I don't know what the fuck's going on with the Giants. If it's Shador, then that's cookies.
So we'll put y'all at 3.
Yeah.
We'll put Tampa at 4. All right.
But I mean, we could be way off. Maybe
but
we go undefeated next year and win the Super Bowl.
But you also got to think this is just the top 5 playoff teams with the worst chance. If we were just saying top 5 teams with the worst chance, I mean, yeah.
We already did that, no?
Well, no, we did top 5 non-playoff teams, best chance to make it. If we did top 5 teams with the worst chance to make it, it's pretty easy. What? Browns, Giants, Raiders, Jags, Panthers. There you go.
Cool.
And then Bears, honorable mention.
Hopefully the Bears can do something.
So, okay, top 5
Is it Caleb in the shitter forever?
For a minute. For a minute at least. But top 5 playoff teams, with the worst chance to return to the playoff next year. Starting at 5, you got the Rams, Tampa, Washington, Minnesota, and Denver Broncos at 1. I'm not mad at that.
But I mean, if the Rams lose Stafford and don't get A-Rod,
I think
they're at 3.
I think they jumped to 3.
Maybe 2.
They jumped to.
They don't have Jefferson. They got Puka.
They jumped. The Rams.
I think they jumped to 2. If they keep nobody,
this might be a list that's gonna look a little different a couple weeks down the line.
A few weeks, yeah.
A couple weeks from now, this list might look a little different. But all right, okay. Something that I want to talk about, especially because I kind of called it when we talked about when we were talking about something else in a different segment. The Colts GM came out and said that they want to bring in a quarterback for competition.
I did hear that.
To bring in they want to bring somebody in for some quarterback competition for Anthony Richardson.
Which for them should mean they need a new quarterback.
Which is kind of interesting. Now, let's stop it. We've seen this before. There's plenty of quarterbacks where it's like we want to bring in competition for them to, for the light
for
fire
a third-year,
whatever.
5th overall pick.
So you think just because the Saints said it, like Derek Carr's locked to start? Like you think he's not gonna go? You think he's not gonna compete?
Well, I don't think they're gonna. I think they're gonna get a backup.
You think anywhere Jameis Winston signs, he's locked starter. He's not gonna compete with some like 2nd or 3rd year guy.
No, I think wherever Jameis goes, he's a locked backup.
So you would prefer Anthony Richardson to not feel like he needs to play better
No, no, no.
by
What?
bringing
No,
in
what I'm saying is,
competition.
I think that he needs to, but if you're going to, I don't know, search for a quarterback to compete,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure what you would see out of Anthony Richardson in terms of playing the position
Well,
that you would like over the guy that you're getting.
luckily, I got some guys for you. Now first, if we're gonna actually make it a competition, you gotta
Yeah,
walk a thin line
if
because
this is just a ploy to like make AR work harder,
exactly. You can't bring in like Drew Lock and say
yeah,
we're
fight for it.
we're really making Anthony Richardson fight for this. But
Yeah,
if you're bringing in like if you go after Sam Darnold or fucking Matt Stafford, it's like all right, well you
yeah.
guys are trying to push Anthony Richardson out the door.
Well, no, if you get Matt Stafford's QB1
That's what I'm
immediately.
saying. That's what
But
I'm
yeah, no,
saying. You're
Sam
not
Darnold, you
bringing
can have him
in.
fight,
Maybe that was a bad example,
or
but
maybe
you're
Kirk,
maybe even Kirk Cousins. It's like you're bringing in somebody who's probably going to start, and
Yeah,
you're probably working on an exit plan for Anthony Richardson, or that is
shit.
your
I
exit
would have
plan.
thought. I mean, you could put Derek Carr in that role as a dude to compete with AR.
To compete for sure. Now, all right. So some guys that obviously are free. I'm really looking at free agents. And just gonna ask you what you think about it. So you got people like Zach Wilson, 25 years old. Do you bring him in to compete against Anthony Richardson? Is it actually a competition?
I don't think that's a competition. I wish it was,
I
but
think,
I don't see them. I don't know. This is so weird.
bro, but you got to really think about it. Do you not remember there being reports like last year? It's like Anthony Richardson throws 5 picks in training camp today. It's like if you have Drew Lock going there, who just has a little bit better or a little bit more experience reading defenses,
Yeah.
just looks
Well,
a
that's
little
what I'm
bit
saying.
prettier.
It's like I don't know. Like teach Anthony Richardson how to play
Mhm.
quarterback and not just like scare him into trying harder.
But I'm saying that's the type of competition you need is somebody that's going to make Anthony Richardson read a defense better.
It's true.
Now, if it just turns out that the man can't throw a football in in the National Football League, all right, that's what it is.
I think we're
I
getting close to that.
dust my hands, it's over.
I think we're
But
getting real close.
what about somebody like okay, another top 3 quarterback, top 3 pick, former top 3 pick,
What about Josh Rosen?
Trey Lance?
That wouldn't be bad. Because that's
That
the guy that they're looking at like, hey, this guy can't even fucking read a defense to save his life.
and
But
that's
if Trey
also
Lance looks miles better than AR, there's a problem.
but if Trey Lance comes in, the only thing he kind of has over, it's a positive and a negative. On the positive side, over Zach Wilson, we have no clue what Trey Lance can do. Like to be
Yeah,
completely
exactly.
honest, if we gave Trey Lance the keys on any team, we have no clue how that car is going to drive.
Exactly.
We have no clue. Now you can start going down to quarterbacks like Jameis.
Yeah.
Is Jameis competition though? That's why I was asking, like, is somebody like Jameis Winston, if you're bringing Jameis Winston in training camp with Anthony Richardson, is that a competition?
Well, if you're looking at it from the Colts' eyes, you know you don't have a team good enough to win anything this year.
Mm.
Like at best, you're making the playoffs. You're scraping in the playoffs.
Bro, you
Um,
make it, you got a chance.
if you make it, you have a chance.
I don't. I mean, we were talking about how. I mean, let's be real, bro. We were just talking before the podcast, like, damn, it's crazy. Like the Bears were in the Super Bowl in '06, and just it's like these certain things.
It's
It's
no,
like
that's true.
yeah, it's like sometimes like you just make it. It's not
Sure,
sometimes you
like the
just make
Jags were
it.
in the
But
fucking
but you also got to think
AFC
it's like
Championship.
they went 8-9 with Anthony Richardson didn't want to play and Joe Flacco.
That's true.
So they,
But
I mean,
I mean, yeah, if the Colts think that they have something, then yeah, sure, go and look for a 1 year Jameis type of player. But that's the thing is like if you put someone over AR, the leash is going to be pretty short on whoever that player is. The second they start to play bad, they're going to get yanked.
and if you bring in someone like Jameis, I think even if he does not end up being the starter, he probably is the most reliable quarterback or reliable backup quarterback.
Reliable backup for sure,
And if
unless he
it's
tears
like
his ACL.
if if Anthony Richardson decides to tap himself out again, it's like, all right, well, we can bring
That'll
Jameis
never
in.
happen.
We don't have to bring Joe Flacco in. But I also say, like 2 or 3 weeks ago, when Jameis said he believes there's not 32 quarterbacks better than him in the NFL, you don't think one of those people he thought of was Anthony Richardson?
It's probably way high up on the list. That's
Like,
probably very. I think it's Bryce Young and what's his nuts and AR.
I think there's plenty of people on his mind when he said that. What about
Yeah,
Justin Fields? Because that's the only person that I brought up when we talked about places Justin Fields could go. I said the Colts, you could bring him in for some competition for Anthony Richardson.
you're right.
That would be probably the biggest comp
Yeah,
in terms of, young. The man was starting for the Steelers last year and was winning games before they pulled him for Russ. And just like we were talking about think about what we said about, like, just what we said about Zach Wilson. And we said that just about Zach Wilson.
yeah.
Maybe how Justin Fields can read a defense or just the prettier ball he can throw versus Anthony Richardson
But
might just send Anthony Richardson to the bench.
but that's my thing. It's like I don't know. Like once you do start bringing in comp that's not fucking 40 years old named Joe Flacco, I don't know how you can look at AR and still go, hey, this is our franchise guy. I don't want Justin out there. It didn't look fucking like if you're gonna go out and get Justin, use him.
Yeah. See, but that's the thing. It's
I
I
would
don't know
much
though.
rather have a Justin.
You could have said that about the Steelers though. I mean, and they kind of did, but I don't know. I think it's tricky. It's a
It
little.
is tricky, but
I think it's a little trickier than that because you can bring Justin Fields in as competition, but as even though we gave him that praise, it's like, who are you to really be like, if you're gonna bring me in, you got to use me? It's like you are. It's like, I mean, relax.
no, but I'm. It's more so of me like no, like I think that the second that you bring in another young, more experienced quarterback, or somewhat experienced quarterback,
Hmm.
you're gonna start to see those big glaring flaws in AR's game. Um,
Okay. Yeah.
but I mean, I don't know. It's still crazy to me that he was drafted in the position that he was. Um, I don't know. It's such
Old.
that's the reason that this is so hard is because he was drafted as a top 10 or top 5 overall pick. So you expect him to be treated as such, but now we're at the point where it's like can he even start for this shitty Colts team?
No.
Shit, it was fucking does he want to play?
Can he
Can he
play
stay healthy?
quarterback in the NFL?
Is he better than Joe Flacco? It's like the fact that these questions are being asked already sucks.
Old quarterbacks that I'd probably avoid, or would just say this probably wouldn't be competition. Maybe like Jacoby Brissett, Marcus Mariota, Carson Wentz, Jimmy G, Cooper Rush, like all those. Oh, we're getting Bing. All those guys, like that's where that's where we're getting a little too old.
None of those sound like better comp than
I mean,
Jameis.
those are all 30 plus. No. I'm talking Anthony Richardson.
What do you mean?
You said Jameis.
No, I'm saying that like those aren't bad guys to compete against.
For Anthony Rich, you think those guys have a chance to take Anthony Richardson's spot next year?
You're putting Jameis over all those guys.
To bring in for competition? Yes.
Yeah, really.
It's the only person that, what, besides Jacoby, that started last year?
No, I know, but well, Mariota started a game.
Ooh.
No, I don't even think he started that game.
I don't think he did. I don't think he
He didn't start
started
that
any
game. He
game.
finished it, but I don't know. I mean, is Jimmy G cooked?
Yes, bro. Jimmy G's fucking cooked. Can we stop
But I
it?
mean,
Well,
Jameis is
if
cooked.
we're gonna sit here and waste our time with somebody like Jimmy G, why not just keep wasting our time with AR? What the fuck are we doing wasting our time with Jimmy
What
G?
the fuck are we gonna do with Jameis? That's what I was trying to say. It was like, if we expect to be good, are we just gonna waste a year with Jameis?
Jameis played actual football last year.
That's fair.
Jimmy G probably did more photo shoots last year.
I'm not sure if he's doing photo shoots anymore.
And the only other quarterback I'd say, bro, look, full circle, throw it back, bring in the actual.
Throw it back.
No, full circle, throw it back.
Pause.
Oh, fast forward, Devin, because we're bringing in the Florida quarterback that actually looked pro ready, and we're having Kyle Trask compete with Anthony Richardson
Oh,
for that starting
nice.
spot. Why not, bro? You actually
No,
have a
I mean,
quarterback that
he's
came
just
from the
wasting
university,
away in Tampa for no reason.
and now he's a free agent. Bro completely got his time wasted in Tampa, and that was obviously because they brought in Tom, and it's like, sorry, Kyle. It's like you have absolutely no. You want to talk about no comp
For real.
for being able to start.
And then
That
it was
there's
even
no
like,
comp.
I mean, but yeah, the second you bring in Baker, it's like, yeah.
And then they brought in Baker, and it was like,
Well,
wow,
but
Baker looks
you're not
good.
going to take a chance on a guy who's never played a fucking real game.
But Kyle Trask, 10,000 times out of 10,000 times, he looked way more pro ready coming out of college than Anthony Richardson.
Yep.
Why not? Why if I'm just saying, if we're not even looking at someone like Jameis or someone like that, and we're going even cheaper, bring in Kyle. Bring in Kyle.
Agreed.
Because to me, you can go all the way back to the Florida ties and say, look, yeah, maybe you just looked at the wrong quarterback. Maybe I was just looking the wrong way.
What's crazy to me is like, I mean, AR didn't go that high because of his ability to read a defense or his ability to make play or to run an offense or to do this. It's because he's built like a fucking linebacker. And
yeah,
which
defensive
is the only fucking reason that, like, sure, DK has crazy combine numbers. He's a fucking receiver. Cool, like, draft him higher. Yeah. AR has crazy combine numbers and he's fucking 6'4" and 250, 280. That's not what you're looking for. I get that you want a mobile quarterback, but if he can't fucking throw a ball, I don't know. It's bad. I don't think he deserves to be a quarterback. Hopefully he can prove us wrong. I'm sorry, I don't.
Okay, final question. Will he start as the Colts quarterback next year?
It depends on who they bring in.
That's a
but it might.
That's a safety blanket answer, Devin. That's a safety. It's a safety blanket answer.
If I was the Colts and I drafted him 5th overall, I'm starting him.
All right, there we go.
I'm running until the fucking wheels run off, dude.
No safety blanket answers, Devin. We can't be doing that because I like.
I mean, he will start games next year.
He's starting next year.
He will start games. I don't know how many, but
something I told you. I mean, I hate to just keep saying I told you so, but Kelce's returning.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I had a strong stance.
No. I had the strong stance on if they lose this Super Bowl.
Sure.
He's going to come back, and we're going to have to keep dealing with this bullshit because now he's all, man, I can't go out like that. That left a bad taste. And I told you that's exactly how. If they were going to lose that Super Bowl, he was gonna, man.
Yeah, they're gonna ban the Tush Push, and the Chiefs are gonna fucking run it up again.
If they would have three-peated, and now we know for sure, because what he just said, I can't go out like that. If they would have three-peated, he would have said, I can go out like that, Devin. I can go out like that. So now we got to sit here and deal with some more Travis Kelce and the bullshit that comes along with him. So there you go. If they would have just won that Super Bowl like I kind of almost wanted them to, we wouldn't have to deal with him next year. But
I mean, yeah, no, being a few weeks removed from the Super Bowl, it's like I don't really give a fuck that the Eagles won. Honestly, that's another dynasty or potential dynasty that I don't really give a fuck about, especially because they're in my fucking division. And well, yeah, I wish that the Chiefs had just won and we bit the bullet and gotten rid of this fucking dumb Kelce brother.
Yeah, and that's at the end. They'll probably bring over Kyle Pitts, still bring him in for Noah Gary, and guess what? They're going to develop Kyle Pitts and resurrect his career. I'm watch. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
Noah Gray is white though. He's not gray.
Noah Gray is white. He is not gray. All right, Devin.
Rashad White is black.
God damn it! I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
You just misheard me, dude.
I misheard you. I thought you were asking me, is it a white guy?
Is it a white? Yeah.
It's not. No, it was Rashad White. You were absolutely right, Devin. All right. So every team I saw CBS, they gave a grade, the
Mm,
final grade for the year. Now, my problem every year, like before this season even ended, I was like, man, I wish we could do like a report card type thing, but every type of grading system that I tried to think of, it kind of just turned out to be flawed. Like it just
mm.
something like any type of point or like grading system, I just couldn't figure out the right way to really pinpoint where these teams rank in the
Yeah.
grading scale. Um,
Can I take a guess on how CBS ranked these
Sure,
teams?
sure. But we're going to give our own grades. And I think the way we should look at, because I want you, that's kind of what I need you to help me with, is how we should look at grading it. Do we look at every team and just go, all right, we're going to start at a C? We're going to look at what they were expected to do, what happened, what they dealt with through the season, what the
Yeah, I,
adversity,
I I think we need to not overcomplicate it. I think we need like
okay. Like, so the
what's your thoughts?
easiest,
Numbers,
okay, easiest, like
grades,
Philly is the only A plus.
A+.
Like no matter what, they won the Super Bowl. Philly had an A plus season.
Philly's A+.
Philly is A plus. Okay, so then they're starting alphabetical order. They're starting with the Arizona Cardinals. Okay,
Yes,
so when I think of the
but
Arizona
are we
Cardinals,
going based off of expectations or just a general grade?
that's what I'm asking you.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the thing though. Okay, here's the question though. Here's the question, and I almost might answer it right here. Every test for every student, it's the same expectations.
You're right.
It's like you
You're
pass or
right.
you don't, or it's like you get
Like,
you get the answer right or you don't. Now, if
but
you
that's the
are
thing. It's like there's some slow kids in the class.
if you're a kid that gets 90s every test, and then
Yeah.
all of a sudden you get a
Yeah.
D, it's like, okay, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
You're
If
gonna
you're
have
like your parents are
expectations.
Asian,
So I do think you have to.
you're expected.
I do exactly. There are some expectations. I do think you have to. I think you have to include
Well, it's
expectations.
like every year. Am I fucking bleeding?
Nah, I think you're good. I think you're good. But I
Um,
think
but no, every year, like every team's like, no, we want to win the Super Bowl, and then they just blatantly tank and win
let's
however
go
many
off of
games. But
our expectations.
yeah, I think our
Our
expectations
expectations.
versus like injuries and what happened in the season, and then what they, yeah,
So
our
Arizona,
expectations.
and then if we were talking about expectations, and then we just started at a C, it's just median, base, boom, we're right
Sure.
in the middle.
Are we
What did you
we're
really
talking about the
expect?
Cardinals?
What do you? Yeah, I'm saying, what do you really expect from Arizona? Because all right, right here, like they say, they started out 6-4, and then ended up what 8-9. So
Yeah.
I guess
My, I mean, expectations definitely changed throughout the year. But I think the addition of Marvin Harrison Jr. brought it up a little bit, but nothing crazy.
but
I
I
would
feel
go
like
C minus.
okay, right, like I feel like if you like went back and we looked at those first 10 games, like even though they were on a 6-4, game
I don't think
win
we
streak,
had him.
it was like, oh man, like we might have been like, there was a cool catch from Marvin Harrison. Did you see
Yeah,
that? Like, but there was no expectations.
no.
And I'm almost gonna agree with you and say C minus because now, okay,
But
and
now
we
the way that their division went, it's like they had a much better shot, but also not really.
well, I think the whole division might have earned a C minus, and we might have.
No, the division was a fucking F.
But what I'm saying is, are we looking at as a C, and then the expectations they couldn't even like? To me, they didn't exceed any expectations that I had,
Yeah,
but I didn't really have my expectations set much higher than what the floor, like where the floor is.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like my expectations were set high, so I'll go C minus just so that gives us a base for where we're going for these teams. CBS gave
What
them a C.
would you go higher or lower? Would you go C or would you go D?
I could like D plus.
I honestly think that like starting off like that, being in a division this close, still having Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray, who was relatively hyped up before the year.
I don't know, bro. I think Kyler Murray's been written off in terms of exceeding a C.
I think C
exceeding a
minus.
C
I think
grade.
C minus.
I
C
I
minus is
I
fine. All right, that's fine.
I'll agree with that. So what about Atlanta?
Fucking
Okay, right?
yeah.
They finished the season 8-9, but you have the entire Kirk move. You have all
You
that
spent
expectation,
$180 million.
and the man wasn't starting by the end of the year.
160. 160. You spent
So
160.
there's got to be D something.
I might go. Was it middle school that we had E's?
We did
Was
have
that
E's. We
was
did
that
have
all
E's.
through
It was
school?
all through school. I don't think I ever had an F, but we are going to do F's.
No, we didn't have
instead of
F's.
E's.
They got rid of F's.
I'm going to do F's. But I'm not going to go F. I'm not going to go F because no. Even the Kirk, okay, they went, stop it. Because what did you really expect? What was their over under? Like, I really want to know what you expected from
Wait, no,
them,
we should get the over unders.
I have them up, but I'm saying especially your expectations. So they were 9.5.
Okay.
D.
D's fine.
D. Flat D.
D minus?
No. Relax. I'll go D, just of D flat. D flat.
Well, honestly, I mean, it was the second half of the season that everything went bad.
How about the Baltimore Ravens? You want to talk expectations? So this was, now you're gonna have probably a handful of these teams. This was a team where they were expected to be in a Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't make it past the second round.
Well, expected to be in the Super Bowl, but also we got to factor in the Chiefs factor.
No, expected to be in the Super Bowl because
the Chiefs were the only team that
it was Chiefs, Bills,
close to guaranteed to be in the Super Bowl.
Chiefs, Bills, Ravens, Lions, Eagles.
Yeah, but in the AFC, it's
Chiefs, Bills, Ravens.
It's not as big as a question as the NFC. Not even close.
But it was Chiefs, Bills, Ravens.
Yeah, but it was like
Chiefs,
hopefully.
Ravens, Bills, whatever you want.
But
it wasn't. It wasn't. Hopefully, it wasn't. Hopefully, it wasn't. Hopefully, it wasn't.
The way that the past few years have gone, it's a hope.
It's okay. No. Let's relax. It was not a hopefully. It was a these are legit teams that could beat Kansas City. Not just man. No. It was I hope Washington beats Philly.
Sure.
It wasn't. Oh man, it's over. This was like these are actual teams who have MVP quarterbacks, Bills and Ravens, who can beat the Chiefs. They didn't.
Yeah.
They could have. And if we're going to really talk about, self-inflicted wounds, Ravens versus Chiefs 2 years ago, and then this Bills game, the Bills-Chiefs game, that was a wishy-washy-ass game as well. To me, not making it past the second round, having a slow start with that defense, winning the AFC North is cool, especially with that final stretch. Not even being able to go home with an MVP. What would you say? What would your grade be?
I'm very curious as to what you would say.
B.
Okay. I'm glad you didn't go C or anything. I mean, when you look at the MVP, it was you get first team All Pro.
I didn't want to use the R word. I didn't want to use the R word.
What's the R word?
Not your favorite word, but robbed. I didn't want to say he was robbed.
Sure.
But if we want to say it, he was robbed of MVP. But
well, I mean, you can call it whatever, but it's like I don't know. I don't think that award. I don't think the team cares that much about that award. I don't think Lamar cares that much about the award. Obviously, he deserved it. It's not super obvious, but he deserved it. But yeah, I mean, expectation was to not make the AFC Championship after adding Derrick Henry and being in the AFC Championship last year without Derrick Henry. Yeah, I think B's fine.
I'll go B for them. And then Buffalo Bills exceeded their expectations. They were able to get their MVP. lost
Yep.
in the championship game. The only thing that the only thing that I really hindered on was their easy ass schedule.
Yeah.
But definitely better grade than the damn Ravens. I don't know if I can go up to an A. B plus for sure. That's the bot. That's the lowest I'll go.
I'm going to be honest.
A minus.
I think so.
A
Just
minus.
because of the expectations the way that we talked about the Bills preseason,
I can go
the
A minus.
Stephon Diggs Bills, the Matt Collins move, the fact that Khalil Shakir's wide receiver one, they had a great year.
I can go A minus for them.
Yeah, I think they had a crazy year.
Panthers.
Yeah, I mean, if we look at expectations, I mean they had lower expectations this year than they did Bryce's rookie year.
So a D minus. What do we mean? What?
I mean, if we, it's
A
bad.
D.
D.
A D.
I mean, they had a competitive game with the Chiefs. That's cool.
I mean, how did they? What was? What? Where they finished 5-12? I mean, what are we really?
What was their over under? It must have been.
Carolina's over under.
It's
Probably
probably
not even
5.5.
5.5. It's 5.5.
Okay, yeah.
5.5. Bro, they didn't even beat their 5.5 over under. I mean,
Shit, dude, the Redskins ours was
D minus.
5.5. D minus.
D minus. I'll go D minus.
But they had no expectations.
What do you think CBS gave them?
Oh, I don't know. C minus.
These dumbasses gave them a C plus.
A C plus.
A C plus.
Why?
I don't know. Chicago Bears.
I hate CBS. Dude. Now I thought CBS would just do it like ABC and then just straight down the board.
But I mean, Bears. You got
right, Bears.
Fire your coach mid-season.
Wait, hold on. We didn't talk about what the grade that CBS gave all the other teams.
Bills, they gave them a B plus. Ravens, they gave them a B. Atlanta got a D plus.
Okay.
Yeah. Chicago, they gave Chicago a D.
I think they deserve worse.
Which to me, they're definitely at least a. I mean,
they're at least a D.
They're at least a D.
Dude, we got to remember the way that this team was.
They had higher expectations than.
They had higher expectations than the Jets, than the Bills, than the Vikings, than us, than just about fucking probably 28 teams in this league. I'm dead ass, dude. I mean, you bring on Keenan Allen, you bring on DeAndre Swift, you bring on.
The hype was crazy. The hype was insane.
You draft Rome Odunze, you draft Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams, fucking, he's gonna be incredible. Holy shit, fucking, he's the best quarterback in this draft by far. Whatever the fuck.
So it sounds like
this is close. This is borderline F. This is close. Firing your head coach mid-season. They fired their head coach mid-season.
We're going F.
That's an F.
Cincinnati.
Ah, that's tough.
I can kind of agree with CBS here. They had D plus for Cincinnati.
I was gonna say D, but D plus is fine. Yeah.
D plus.
I mean, for how well that offense played.
Yeah, I mean,
the things they could have done.
But it's expectations.
But the things they could have done with a slightly better defense.
Yeah, I think it's the expectations that really drags them down to D plus.
Well, I mean the preseason expectations, but also how well they played on the other side of the ball.
Bengals, 10.5. 10.5 over under. They finished 9-8.
Yeah,
which they had a good stretch at the end of the year. But I'd probably have to sit a D plus for them.
Yeah.
Cleveland Browns.
I don't know.
Okay, all right. Now this is where we talk expectations, right?
Yeah.
Now they gave Cleveland an F.
No.
Right. Now the Browns had an 8.5 over under.
That is great. What's I think that over under is way too high because you were going from a fucking Joe Flacco miracle playoff season.
But I mean, when did Deshaun tear his Achilles?
Oh, you're right. I forgot about Deshaun.
I mean, Deshaun tore his Achilles how early?
Week 4 or something.
So I mean that's the thing. So if we're considering a quarterback tearing their Achilles, Like, are we're gonna factor that in, right? Like,
Yeah.
the Jets definitely last season they didn't
But
get an
even
F.
without his Achilles tear, he wasn't there.
Like when
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers tore his Achilles, the Jets didn't finish with an F.
You could have given the Jets a fucking A for the way that they won. No, honestly, they won 7 games.
Which so he was coming back from a torn Achilles and then tore his Achilles in January. Okay, so look, I don't know if it's F worthy.
I don't think it's F worthy.
I
I
can go
don't
D
think it's C
minus.
worthy.
I can go D minus.
You look at I guess Chubb was back midseason.
Yeah, but I mean, off of how many? I mean, it's just I don't know, bro. I
D
think
minus. Sure.
that year they had last year. It was because of their playoff year they had the year the playoff season they had like they went 11-6 the year before
Well,
that.
yeah, but it was the fact that it was Joe doing it, and then they were getting Deshaun back.
I think D minus.
Yeah, that's fair. Just because of the way that Deshaun could have
I think
played.
this one's easy. Dallas Cowboys.
Low.
I mean an F,
F.
right?
F. Yeah.
F. I mean 10 games over under.
What did Dak get hurt? Right.
Yeah, no, Dak got hurt. I mean they finished 7-10. I mean look, Dallas sucked.
You had just
Dallas
paid
sucked.
CD a ton of money. You just gave Dak what 65 a year.
Yeah, even more money. That is an F. Especially this is when expectations play in. I mean,
It's
this
the Dallas Cowboys.
is a big old F.
Yeah.
Denver Broncos.
A.
You got
Rookie
playoff
quarterback.
spot.
You got
Defensive player
Jerry
of the
Jeudy.
year.
Huh?
Defensive player of the year.
Yeah.
I mean,
you're coming back from 2 Russell Wilson years where it was like, holy fuck, this team's got nothing, and then Bo Nix makes the playoffs.
so a solid A.
It's a solid A.
All right, solid A.
It's a great year.
We'll go A for the Denver Broncos. Detroit.
It's tough.
So before they lost to y'all, they were an A.
Yeah.
Before they lost to y'all, they were supposed to be in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. I mean, shit, they would have gotten. I think they would have gotten spanked by the fucking Eagles too, but
I think it's got to be B something.
I don't even know if I can say B plus.
B?
What would we give the Ravens? B plus?
A B.
A B.
A B.
A B. Yeah.
A B. All right, we'll give Detroit a B. I'm not.
I mean, they
okay,
had the
I'll give
same
Detroit a B.
expectations. They were in the same spot last year.
I'll give Detroit a B. What about Green Bay?
Green Bay is weird.
So when I was thinking about this earlier, Green Bay actually they might have been regular season merchants. Let me go through this regular season for you for their schedule last year. So this is the teams they beat last year.
Mm-hmm.
They beat Indianapolis, they beat Tennessee, they beat the Rams, they beat Arizona, they beat Houston, they beat Jacksonville, they beat the Bears, they beat San Fran, they beat Miami, they beat Seattle, they beat New Orleans.
How many of those teams have winning records? 2?
Yeah, I mean the Rams and
Barely.
Houston.
Barely.
Yeah, that's about it. Like they had a pretty easy schedule and got very lucky to have this schedule considering the injuries they had to deal with.
Yeah.
But they still had all those injuries to deal with and were able to go 11-6.
Yeah.
I think that's a solid B.
Yes.
I think
it wasn't like a Jordan Love breakout season. Shit.
Yeah.
They were having conversations early in that year. It was how good is Malik Willis? Is Malik Willis better than Jordan Love?
Yeah, I mean, is that a good thing?
That's a terrible thing.
But is it a terrible thing when you might think Jordan Love is actually pretty good, so you actually are like Like, damn, Malik Willis it might be like I'm saying that it really
I
depends
think
on
it says
where
a lot about
you.
the team and says a little about their quarterbacks.
But I think it's who when you're saying whoever is saying like is Malik Willis better than Jordan Love? It depends on where you put Jordan Love. If you think Jordan Love's pretty good, and then you're saying Malik Willis is better,
Yeah,
then I'm just saying like it might.
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't. It might not be as bad as you think.
Sure.
But I'll go B for them.
B's fine.
Houston.
C minus.
Really?
D
You
plus.
don't give them an injury card?
No,
You don't give the Houston Texans an injury. You don't give just
I do, but it's not that big. You lost Diggs week 5, and now you revert to your old team, plus Joe Mixon.
you said C
Still,
plus.
huh?
You said C plus.
C minus.
C minus.
Well, hear me out. When did they lose Diggs? Week 5, something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're going back to your old receiver core of just Tank Dell and Nico Collins. You didn't lose Tank until what? Week 15?
End of the year.
Week 16?
Mm.
You have Joe Mixon already added on this team. The thing that it was just lackluster play from Stroud. I mean, the fact that they won 9 games this year
The Texans.
or 10
They
or 11.
finished with I want to say 10, right?
Same record as last year.
Yeah, 10-7.
The same record as last year.
So why don't we just meet in the middle? I say C plus, you say C minus.
Flat C. Fine.
I'll just give him a flat C.
What'd CBS say?
Give him a flat B.
What?
They gave them a B.
A B. Okay. I think so.
CBS gave them a B. Indianapolis Colts. A D? I mean, I don't. I mean, like
that's so weird too, because like they won 8 games. I don't think they deserved.
But it's like, what did you expect from the Colts going into this season? They were expected to win 8.5 games. Their over-under was 8.5. They went 8.
Their over-under was 8.5.
Their over-under was 8.5. They went 8-9 with Joe Flacco and Anthony fucking Richardson.
All right, well then, I think
D plus.
C minus. I think we put
Really?
them as. I think we can. I mean,
Right,
the fact that they won 8 games.
Okay. C minus. Okay.
The fact that they even won 8 games.
I'll agree with you there. Jacksonville.
F.
Thank you. All right, F. Vegas.
F.
Big old F. The Chargers. B plus.
B plus. I was gonna say A minus to B plus. I think B plus is nice.
B plus.
Because you still haven't fixed your receiver room.
No.
They're still just as bad as the day that Harbaugh walked in there.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing is like, I guess I'm thinking down the road, but those running backs are good, but Lord knows how long they're going to stay healthy or last. So,
what about the Kansas City Chiefs?
F.
No, they gotta be. I mean,
no, their expectation was to win the Super Bowl.
You gotta give. I mean,
no,
in the Super Bowl.
But at the same time, it's like if we actually look at their season, you want to talk about a regular season merchant.
But they made it to the Super Bowl.
Barely beating shit dick teams.
But they made it.
I know.
The Packers lost in the first round.
But then if you look at individual play, you look at Mahomes' play, his stats. You look at Kelce's stats.
I'm not going lower than an A minus.
I'll give him 90%.
All right, A minus.
No, actually, it's 89.9 rounded up.
89.9 rounded up. All right, A minus. Rams.
Yeah.
So they win a playoff game in Arizona after dealing with the fire shit. They do win their division. I mean, and it's not that it's nothing to win that division this year, but it's just not as impressive as it could have been, considering what. But like I said, like we could say San Fran dealt with injuries, and maybe Arizona and Seattle weren't as good, but at the same time, The Rams could have been healthier. The Rams could have been a little bit better, and I think.
Well, the Rams didn't. I guess they dealt with Cup issues, Hugh Nakua issues, but even when they were full strength, I mean, we kept expecting that they were our what do they call it? Dark
What?
horse.
Were they? Who's dark horse?
They were ours for like a sneaky, like a team that if they snuck in the playoffs,
Yes. Okay.
could cause some damage. So,
And I mean, and they did.
and they did. They won a
They
playoff
knocked
game.
Minnesota off, and their over under was 8.5.
Really?
Their over was 8.5. They finished 10-7. B.
I think the way that like we talked about them all year, just because it wasn't anything super special, I would have said lower, but I think B's fine.
B. All right, B. What about Miami? D minus.
D minus.
Yeah, I mean, I think D minus. Absolutely D minus. Minnesota.
When you get the Tyreek shit, that's a big. That's so funny that no one. He's not fighting the cops anymore. What happened there? Were we wrong? I think we were so wrong that like they just stopped talking about it.
Yeah, we were so wrong that they just stopped talking about it completely. Or it just like, or people made it a big ass fucking deal
for no reason.
Because that's like what the incident was. It was somebody making a big ass fucking deal out of no reason. We don't have to go back in time. We don't have to go. We don't have to go that. We don't have to go. We don't have to go that far back in time. But
it does feel like 4 years ago at this point, though.
It does. Well, it's because 4 years ago he was doing the same shit. Minnesota though. So before the playoffs, they were probably an A something.
Minnesota, yeah.
They probably finished B plus. Is a B plus too nice?
No.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I think for their for JJ McCarthy tearing his ACL, you're expected to have him, a rookie quarterback. Honestly, it could have been worse with a rookie quarterback, but you get Diarrhea Darnold in there.
But compare the expectations though. All year we kept watching the Vikings play well and Sam Darnold play well. And we were like, just wait. And all year it was kind of like the Rams were real shaky, and it was like if they get in the playoffs, we don't know. And those two teams matched up.
Yeah.
And what we were looking for from both teams, we got.
You're right.
So I mean, I think B plus is like the highest I could go for Minnesota.
I only think B plus just because we never even had any playoff expectations for them until they won like 10 games.
I like B plus. B plus is fine. B plus is fine.
But yeah,
New England.
And then by the last game of the season, they were fighting for the division win.
Yeah, they were. They were.
That last game decided the division.
That playoff loss hurt. It hurt.
Playoff loss.
It hurt them bad.
It took them down a few notches.
New England.
If we're gonna be honest, it's a
D.
C.
D plus.
I think it's a C.
C minus.
Well, you had no expectations coming into the year.
Bro,
hopefully at least. You had a rookie quarterback. You started the year off with Brissett. Now they fired their head coach at the end of the year, but you get Mike Vrabel.
Devin, their over-under was 4.5.
Yeah.
They went 4-13.
Yeah.
They didn't even exceed 4.5 wins.
C minus.
C minus. D plus. Like I'm being nice with D plus, but if you really want to go C minus.
No, 69.4. Sorry.
C minus is crazy.
Really?
C minus, you got to think is who we gave Arizona a C minus. They went 8-9. I don't know. I think D plus.
All right, D plus is fine.
D plus, and then we'll go New Orleans.
Fucking Z.
Like they might be a D minus F.
But what were the expectations? I think D minus just because I think we knew that Derek Carr wasn't going to do anything.
Yeah, when you look at it, they had 7.5.
Hold on, what we give the Falcons?
D. Way more expectations than Atlanta, though. way more expectations for Atlanta compared to New Orleans.
Do we give Atlanta an F?
Do we give Atlanta a D minus?
Give Atlanta a D minus. Give New Orleans a D.
Okay. I'm fine with that. Giants. That's an F, bro.
Dude, have you seen the just like the videos of the GM? Just all that shit is so bad, dude.
Dude, it's all bad. Nothing
His
about it's
son was like,
good.
"Yo, draft Jaden Daniels." Now they didn't have the opportunity to, but still.
I mean, it's just fuck, man. It's heavily influenced
And
by
then
his
have you
son
seen like
slash
fucking
Madden.
how Howie Roseman just like slime balled his way? Oh fuck, just got through and fucking destroyed everybody.
What are you talking about?
No, he just fucking fucked a ton of people over with trades and fucking everything.
Oh, with the Giants?
No, the Eagles GM. Sorry,
Oh, no. I have no
how he
clue
was
about
able to
that.
draft fucking Jalen
Oh,
Carter and all those
yeah.
fucking
All the
guys.
moves. I mean, that's just what good GMs do, and then you have a bad
It's true.
GM like the fucking Giants.
Something shown or whatever his name
And
is.
that's an absolute F. And the other team in New York, I think it's another big old F.
I think can we do F minuses?
Can we do F minuses?
I think we can do F plus and F minus.
I mean, I think it's our rules. So yeah, F minus for the Jets.
Cool.
That is an F minus for them.
For real. How many did they win? 5 games?
Did they win 5 games? Yeah, 5-12.
Okay, what was their over under? It's got to be 10. It's got to be 9 or 10.
The Jets over under was 9.5.
Okay, yeah.
9.5.
Perfect.
Okay, all right. Okay, 9.5 for the Jets. That's but F
5
minus
wins.
for them.
That's an
Pittsburgh
F minus.
Steelers.
It's hard not to give them just a regular old B.
B minus.
I would give them lower, but it's like, well, I mean, you're dealing with quarterback shit.
I mean, you're dealing with quarterback shit, but like, what do you? I mean, you're expecting something from the Steelers. And
also, not beating real teams.
Bro, they were 10-3.
Yeah.
And lost their last 4.
Which was easy to call because the last 4 games were against good teams.
So B minus.
B minus.
B minus. San Fran. That's gotta be an F, right?
I mean, I don't even.
That's an F, right? I mean, it's the San Francisco 49ers.
Is it an F?
Yes. They were in the fucking Super Bowl the year before. What are we talking about? Yes, they're an F.
And CMC being hurt should not.
I mean, the Christian McCaffrey bullshit, they absolutely did not know how to handle that. Everybody
the fact, no.
They didn't know how to deal with Ayuk or Debo, and then would they go 6-10, 6-11? Yeah, 6-11. Okay, cool.
F.
Yeah, F. Big old F. Almost an F
minus.
minus.
Not an F minus. Not, no.
Almost.
But no, the handling of the Christian shit.
Just abysmal.
I mean, the fact that they even brought him back blew me.
It's an absolute joke.
Their season was already cooked.
We got San Francisco, Seattle.
Fucking.
What?
C plus.
C plus. Yeah, I was gonna say C plus is fine. I'm okay with Seattle being a C plus. Tennessee.
D.
Okay. Did we grade Tampa?
No.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
B plus. Maybe A minus.
I like B plus. I'll
B
drop
plus
them.
is fine.
I'll drop them
dealt
from
with
A
injuries,
minus.
but
They lost to y'all, which is not the biggest. I'm not saying but I'll say losing in that first round, I'll knock them down to a B plus.
Yeah.
And then the final team, Washington Commanders.
It's A plus.
Y'all don't get an A plus.
I think we get an A at least.
Y'all get an A. Y'all get an A.
I think we get an A.
Y'all get an A.
I mean,
Y'all get an A.
Eagles
are the only
quarterback.
A plus.
You win 12 games and 2 playoff games.
But y'all get an A. So all right. So if we go through all of the teams, the only team with an A plus, obviously, the Philadelphia
Eagles.
Eagles. The two teams with A's, we got the Washington Commanders and Denver. A minuses, we gave out a couple of them: Kansas City, Buffalo. I think that's it for A minuses. Did we give out any B's, B pluses? B plus to the
Ravens.
Chargers. We gave out a B plus to. That's it. I think Chargers are the only team that earned a B plus. Oh, B plus for Chargers and Buccaneers.
Okay.
Rams earned a B. Green Bay earned a B. Minnesota earned a
Ravens.
B plus. Actually, Ravens earned a B. Detroit earned a B. A lot of Fs. San Fran, Jets F minus, Giants F, Jacksonville F, Vegas F, D plus, D minus, Carolina and Cincinnati. There's a
Yeah.
big old skew on or not even a big. It's just kind of like a perfect.
Really, it's just flat.
I feel like maybe it goes a little.
We got a few more teams on the back end there.
It goes a little up, but at the back end. But yeah, I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at those grades. Devin. All right. You got some athletes to guess.
Okay.
We got some guess the athlete for you. 5 facts for each athlete. 3 different athletes.
If it's not Art Monk, I'm gonna slap you.
We're gonna start with the first one. We'll get your chalk ready because we're doing it power slap style. But first athlete, Devin. This player has 2 MVP awards. This quarterback has the second most Monday Night Football wins of all time. He is a 7-time Pro Bowler.
Mm-hmm.
Any gears shifting? Anything yet?
Yeah.
You want to throw out some names before I get
Steve
into
Young.
some... Wow! Look at you! Look at you, you fucker! What did it?
Yeah, the 2 MVPs.
What did it? The 2 MVP. That is what did it.
For real. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. He also has the most touchdowns in one Super Bowl.
Yep.
And he has the 4th most rushing touchdowns by a quarterback.
Yes.
Steve Young. All right. Okay, Devin.
Yeah, no. It was the gears went because MVPs are, they're tough because it's like you get the modern ones, but like the modern, it's like Brady has 4, Aaron has 4, Peyton has 5, Breeze has 1, El Freaky has 2. Not a lot of 2s out there. And I know Steve Young won. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Second athlete. This player is one of 2 running backs in NFL history to have 1,000 yards with 3 different teams.
Ooh. One of 2 running backs to do so?
One of only 2 running backs to have 3 different teams or have 1,000 yards on 3 different teams. He's played for 4 teams. He's a 2-time Pro Bowler.
2-time? That's throwing me off.
Yeah, 2-time Pro Bowler.
Oh, fuck.
Here's one. He has more rushing yards than Terrell Davis, but less total rushing yards than Ezekiel Elliott.
TD's career was cut short.
He was, but he had a 2,000-yard year.
He did. But not, like, the years surrounding that weren't great.
Okay.
Like, a few. I don't I can't remember.
Well,
but
then, and less than Ezekiel Elliott's career wasn't cut short.
That's true.
So, but less than Zeke, more than TD.
Okay. The 2 Pro Bowls is fucking me.
Mm-hmm.
My first thought is Shady.
No. It's not Shady McCoy.
Did he play for 4 teams?
Shady, Bucks,
Bills,
Chiefs,
Eagles.
Eagles.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I think he probably only eclipsed 1,000 Bills and Philly.
Bills, Eagles. Yeah, I was trying to think if he did it. There's no way he did it with the Bucks.
But he did get 2 Super Bowl rings from the other 2 teams. So fuck it.
Did.
And this running back was the first running back taken in the 2003 draft.
$1,000 yards with 3 teams.
1,000 yards with 3 different teams.
Fuck me. Drafted in 03.
Drafted in 03. Played for 4 different teams.
Um,
More rushing yards than Terrell Davis. Less rushing yards than Ezekiel Elliott. Come on. Come on, just spit it out. Just spit out a pull it out your pocket. I know you could. I know you can pull it out.
Jamal?
No.
Fuck. I knew that's no.
Nah, it's not Jamal. Ah man. I think
AP wasn't drafted that early.
I think you're getting
Oh. No. Am I getting confused? 2-time Pro Bowlers fucking me
Do
though.
it. Say it. Are you getting confused?
Am I?
Who you thinking of?
LT?
No.
I didn't think it would be LT.
No, it's not LT.
All right, what were the other facts? It's 2-time Pro Bowler.
2-time Pro Bowler, 1 of 2 with 3,000 yards on 1,000 yards on 3 different teams. He's played for 4 teams. More rushing yards than Terrell Davis, less rushing yards than Zeke. First taken in 2003. Yeah, that's all I got.
Fuck. Every time I think of somebody, I'm like, no, not even
All
a
right.
chance.
I think one more. Throw it out there.
I need one more.
Throw out, just a. I'll tell you you're in the right era. Like with your guess. Now, who you were thinking, like AP, I was like,
No. No, AP was just like a throwaway, but fuck.
One more guess, and I'm gonna have to give you the answer.
Well, I have 2 names that like definitely aren't.
Throw 2 out there.
They're not.
Just throw the 2 out there, and that's.
But they're bad guesses.
We'll see. We're gonna find out. Throw the 2 out there, and I'm gonna tell you if you're right or not. And I'm gonna give you the answer.
I'm trying to think of one more.
All right. If you can spitball 3 in a row, I'll let you do it. But I'll give you 5 seconds to think of a third. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. What were your 2?
Fucking Brian Westbrook.
Nope.
Clinton Portis.
No. All right.
Fuck.
The answer. The running back, 1 of 2 running backs with 1,000 yards with 3 different teams. Played for 4 teams. 2-time Pro Bowler, more rushing yards than Terrell Davis, less than Zeke. First running back taken in 2003. Devin. It's Willis McGahee.
You bastard, dude. That's
Willis McGahee.
You bastard.
Willis
that is
McGahee.
A name that I do not think of often.
Yeah, it's not a name you think of often, but I don't know. I thought something.
What other teams did he do it for? Steelers?
God. He played for the Bills. He played for. That's a great question, actually. Who else?
He was a Steeler.
Was he?
Yeah.
I don't know. I might disagree with you there. Maybe.
That's the only time I know.
No, he was not a Steeler.
Willis McGahee was. Who am I thinking of then?
Buffalo, 12. He had 1,000. Baltimore, he had 1,000. Then he had 1,000 with Denver. He also played with Cleveland.
I know he played for Cleveland. I'm thinking of what's his fuck.
I don't know who you're thinking of.
The race Pro Bowl or whatever. Whites versus blacks.
Oh, Rashad Mendenhall.
Rashad
Mendenhall is who you're thinking of. All right.
That's the Steeler I was thinking of. But yeah, okay. McGahee.
Final athlete.
Fuck that.
This player, Devin, this player has the 4th most passes defended at the line.
As a lineman.
He has led 4 different teams in total sacks in a season.
Okay.
So for 4 different teams, he has led that team in sacks for the year. He's a 9-time Pro Bowler. Top 10 in sacks all time. Let me know when you need that last one.
Throw it out, yeah.
Second most forced fumbles of all time.
This could sound stupid, or it couldn't. The Sizzler?
No, it is not Terrell Suggs. We actually did him a couple episodes ago. I think we've done.
Did we?
Mm-hmm. I think we did him. While
I
you
know we
guess,
did because we were
yeah,
joking about the Starbucks thing.
yeah, he did this shit in the Starbucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, Terrell
Um.
Suggs.
All right. Now I got to go a completely different direction. All right. Fourth most passes defended on the line.
Mm-hmm. Has led 4 different teams in
Four.
total
Yeah. No.
sacks.
I know. Suggs did not do that.
9-time Pro Bowler. He's top 10 in sacks all time, and has the second most forced fumbles ever.
Oh fuck.
4 different teams. He led the team in sacks. Who went around? Who went around and just got sacks?
JPP.
Pierre Paul?
No.
No.
I know he bounced around. I don't know if he was leading teams in sacks.
A lot
Who's
of
leading
things.
teams in sacks and bouncing?
I mean, this guy. This guy was bouncing around, leading the team, leading 4 different teams in sacks. He ended up top 10 in sacks. I mean, if you don't want to think that, maybe think top 10 in sacks.
Calais.
Who got them? No.
Damn.
4 different teams. He played for 4 different teams. Either way, I don't know. Either
Jags, Cardinals, y'all. Someone else? No?
Ravens, and Atlanta.
Yeah.
Atlanta.
Do I get
second
like
most.
what air are we thinking?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm lost when it comes to time frames.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you. Just to answer for time frame wise, there was a time like it. If you went back far enough, there wasn't really a record for passes defended at the goal line.
Gotcha.
It's more of a new gen stat.
Yes.
I don't know how far back it goes, but
Wait, passes defended at the goal line?
No, at the line.
Okay,
at
gotcha.
the line of scrimmage.
Okay.
So quarterback goes to throw it.
I'm thinking like drafted in like 08 or something. Maybe earlier. Earlier?
Yeah, maybe a little bit earlier. Maybe just a little bit earlier. Maybe. I don't know. I could be wrong. Who knows? I think you're gonna have to tell me before I tell you. You know? Yeah, definitely a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
Oh man. I think I'm gonna have to tell you.
Well, now I'm just fucking trying to think of teams that have fucking crazy players.
I think I'm gonna have to tell you.
You said top 10 in sacks?
He is in
second most
10.
forced fumbles.
Second most forced fumbles. He is in top 10. Now, where in the top 10? I don't know.
Which means he's
top 10.
Between 5 and 10. He is. Fuck, dude. Forced fumbies.
I mean, what would make somebody like? What would really help you like defend passes at the line?
Being tall.
Okay. So what are other what's another sport tall guys like might play?
Basketball.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So this guy was like pretty good at that too.
Aaron Hernandez.
You really not know?
No,
you really don't know. All right, Devin. So the player who has the 4th most passes defended at the line of scrimmage has led 4 different teams in total sacks, 9 Pro Bowls, top 10 in sacks all time, second most forced fumbles. It's Julius Peppers.
Mother of bitch.
It's Julius Peppers. Come on now, UNC. He was a walk-on UNC hooper. He was hooping.
I didn't know that.
He was hooping. But
I didn't know
Julius
that.
Peppers. So yeah,
I don't think of him as a super tall guy.
What was that?
I don't think of him as a super tall dude, but I guess he was.
You don't think of Julius Peppers as?
I know I'm not that smart.
He is towering over guys. But all right.
What teams does he lead in sacks?
Panthers. He led the Panthers, the Bears, the Packers, and the. Oh God, you got me stumped
Vikings
on the
or
14.
no?
You got me stumped on the 14.
That was Dante Culpepper.
That's a quarterback.
I know, but I would love a Dante Culpepper jersey. I got a McNabb jersey.
Carolina, Green Bay, Chicago, and Carolina, Green Bay, Chicago. Oh, did I lie to you and say it was 4, but it was actually
It
3?
wouldn't have helped.
It wouldn't have helped, but yeah. So he only played for 3 different teams: Green Bay, Chicago, Carolina. Okay, he went to Carolina, did it, came back to Carolina, and did it again.
Gotcha. Okay.
So okay. So technically he did it. All right, whatever. Either way, it was Julius Peppers. But with that being said, we talked Travis Kelce.
Sure, it wasn't Aaron Hernandez.
I'm pretty sure it wasn't Aaron Hernandez.
He was a pretty good hooper. No, am I wrong about that or no?
I maybe he was. I'm not too sure.
I thought he was good. I can't remember.
He could have been. We'll never know. But Travis Kelce not retiring. We gave a grade for every team. We had you guess some athletes. We talked to Tush Push being banned or not. Top 5 playoff teams with the worst chance to return. Who's going to come in and compete with Anthony Richardson besides me and you at quarterback? Devin, is there anything else you want to say before we get out of here?
No.
That's good. That's always good. Well, hopefully you all enjoyed this episode of On It. We'll be back on, God, what day is it? We'll be back on Tuesday. Monday? Tuesday? We'll be back on Tuesday for a brand new episode of On It. Brand new episodes every Saturday and Tuesday. It has been me. It has been Devin. It has been real. We are out.